Hey guys, welcome to day 9 of the Oola Life Challenge with me, Linda Myers. So, I just want to make a note, if you hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel, you'll get notified each day when I post a video for the Oola Life Challenge. They can also be found in the Facebook group, Break Free and Live, which is where we talk about decluttering our homes, detoxing our bodies and our homes, de-stressing, and becoming debt-free, all this so that we can learn to dream again. The purpose is to break free and live a full life, which is very Oola. So if you're loving the Oola Challenge, you'll probably love the group Break Free as well, Break Free and Live. So today we are talking about the fourth F of Oola, which is field. So when we say field, we are talking about our career or vocation, and for the record, stay-at-home mom counts. So there are two categories of an Oola field. One is our day job, what we do to pay the bills. It's what we have to do, right? And then there's two, our dream job, what we would do if money was no object. What would you like to do? What do you feel called to do? For some, it would be to start their own business. Some maybe a writer, become a stay-at-home mom if they already work, start a nonprofit, work full-time in ministry, or become a doctor. Like, it doesn't matter. It's what you want for your life, utilizing your gifts and talents. So think, what are your gifts and talents? God created us for a purpose, and there is no better way to praise our Creator than to fulfill our purpose and utilize the gifts that He gave us. The Oola rule for field is love it or leave it. We spend about 1/3 of our life at work, so make it something you love. Are you working to just pay the bills? Or are you excited to get to do your job? John Acuff wrote a book called Quitter. It's a fabulous book and a very quick read, but it taps into the tension many of us feel between our day job and our dream job. The gap that lies between what we have to do and what we would love to do. He encourages you to quit your day job, but only if you have a plan, right? It is very Oola to pursue what you love, but you must follow the process and make a plan. Step 1, figure out what you want to do. Step 2, figure out how you'll get paid to do it or bring in income so that you can do it. And then step 3, formulate a plan for the transition, okay? Because if you have a plan and you see a way out of where you are, you can be more content in your current situation once there's a plan in place, right? Pursuing your dream job is very Oola, but if that is not your path, do honest work with joy, because that is also Oola. Because if you serve others in your field, whatever that may be, you will be served. I think of the story of the 3 stone cutters. So there's 3 stone cutters out in the field cutting stone, or I guess it wouldn't be in a field, they'd be in a quarry, right? So a man walks up to the first stone cutter and says, "What are you doing?" Of course, the first guy gets kind of grumbly and says, "What do you think I'm doing? I'm cutting stone." Okay. So the man goes on to the second stone cutter and says, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?" He says, "I'm providing for my family. I've got hungry mouths at home to feed, and I have to pay for a roof over their head." Okay. So then the man goes to the third stone cutter and says, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?" The man wipes the sweat from his brow, puts down his tools, and points into the distance to a church being built and goes, "I'm helping build that cathedral." So it all depends on your perspective. Are you happy? Can you find joy in what you do? Or is there something else out there? All of this is very Oola. The best career advice I've heard is from scripture. In 1 Corinthians 10:31, it says, "Whatever you do, do it for the glory of the Lord." But also in Proverbs 16:3, it says, "Commit your work to the Lord and your plans will be established." We want to stay focused and we want to keep moving forward. And we want to honor God with what we do. We discussed the first day of this challenge that as long as you have breath, you have a purpose, right? But 70% of people can't stand their jobs. What could be worse than investing 8 to 10 hours a day in a job that you don't like? Then bringing that misery home and creating a toxic life outside of the office too. Dissatisfaction with your current work might be God's way of nudging you to look for something that is more meaningful. Look for something that you utilize the gifts and talents that He gave you. Remember, do not quit your job without a plan. Don't stay endlessly in a job that you hate, but only make the leap with a solid plan. Ask yourself, what is the purpose that I was designed by God to fulfill in this life? You may not be able to know exactly what your next step is for your career path, but it's important to identify what would, excuse me, what would get me out of bed in the morning with excitement. It may be serving your company in a different role, working towards owning your own business, or completely changing professions, working in the nonprofit realm. We get out of bed each morning excited to share Oola, right? But we all provide different roles. We all serve in different ways. We're all different. And that's important in truth to finding a purpose with compassion, because we are not all the same. And what we find joy in is going to be different. And there's nothing wrong with that. Today's assignment has two parts. First, if you have a job already, even if it's staying home with the kids, show up and give it your all. Arrive early, stay late, serve others, and be grateful for the employment that you have. Work as if you're working for the Lord and not for the boss or your toddler. Be intentional to steward well the job you currently have. We talked about stewardship, we talked about finance, but the same principle applies here. So the second part of your assignment is to take time to ask yourself and pray about what your purpose is and write down your dream career. What would it look like? Dream big. Don't give yourself limitations on this. And don't Google good paying jobs, because that's not what it's about. You want to create a vision for the job that you would do for free if money didn't matter. Then begin to bridge from where you are today and where you want to be. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today, and we will meet back here tomorrow for the next F of Oola.